I think the right to vote is inherent to our democracy. Yes, even for terrible people.
Bernie Sanders says terrorists and rapists should be able to vote. But what makes the right to vote any different from the other rights people lose in prison? I'm Anders Hagstrom, and these are the facts. Freedom of speech, freedom of association, and general freedom to work and travel as you please are all fundamental to America's Republican system. But they're all gone if you go to jail. Sanders has yet to explain why it's okay to take away those rights, but not the right to vote. Sanders' opponent Pete Buttigieg responded by saying just that.
But part of the punishment when you're convicted of a crime and you're incarcerated is you lose certain rights. You lose your freedom. And I think during that period, it does not make sense to have an exception for the right to vote.
But while Democrats disagree about voting in prison, they virtually all agree that felons should be allowed to vote after serving their sentence and paying their price. Buttigieg claims Republicans only oppose restoring the right to vote because felons would vote for Democrats.
Frankly, I think the motivations for preventing that kind of reenfranchisement in some cases have to do with one side of the aisle noticing that they politically benefit from that, and that's got some racial layers too.
To him, this is a voter suppression issue. Maybe that accusation should go the other way, and Democrats are just sniffing out free votes. Republicans are consistent in their belief in permanent punishments. They believe in capital punishment, they say felons should lose the right to vote and their right to a firearm forever. It's Democrats who appear to have a double standard. Bernie Sanders talks about paying your price and restoring your rights, but not all of them. He says capital punishment is bad because it's permanent, but supports life sentences. He says felons should get their right to vote, but you'll never catch him arguing that felons should get back their Second Amendment rights. So why the picking and choosing? Perhaps Republicans aren't so much engaging in voter suppression as Democrats are seeing an opportunity to pick up a few million votes. And now let's go to some of your comments from last week's video about President Trump sending illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities. Jim Crump says cities on the West Coast are becoming super huge refugee camps. Yes, and as Cher pointed out, the singer Cher pointed out, San Francisco and cities like it have a lot of their own problems, and they can't really deal with an influx of a bunch of illegal immigrants. And so President Trump is really just putting his thumb on the pulse of these people's problems here. Because have you seen the map floating around of, how do I phrase this? Instances of human fecal matter found in San Francisco. And it's something like 11,000 since 2011. This city's definitely got a lot of problems that it needs to work on. Edmund Wyatt says, do not use tax dollars to send them into the interior, leave them at the border or on the other side, preferably. Yeah, see, this is the problem that a lot of Trump supporters have with this issue is like President Trump promised to get rid of the immigration problem, but here he's promising, or at least threatening, to bust them basically into the United States just to accentuate an issue that Democrats have. And so, I mean, as Trump supporters, people can fall on different sides of this issue because really, it's not really doing anything to help. Because if you see illegal immigration as a huge problem in the United States, this policy certainly doesn't do anything to help that. Robert Coleman says, what I like is that he is not bluffing. And that's very true. President Trump, this would not be the craziest policy that the president has ever implemented. Let's just leave it there. Definitely believable that he would go so far as to bus illegal immigrants into sanctuary cities. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and share this video if you liked it and you want to share it. And also like our page here at the DCNF Presents the Facts and our friends over at American Voices and the Daily Caller. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can like my page in the description. Thanks for watching.